Okay, well, the match has just finished. It's the aftermath, home edition, as it were. It's finished. Spurs nil, Arsenal 3, and that was absolutely piss poor, man. It was piss poor from start to finish. I mean, the passing was off, the closing down was off, the pressing was off. I mean, that was the main thing about Villa handball or Rob ball, whatever you call it. That we pressed from the front. That was non-existent, especially in the first half, and especially after the first minute or so. Um, there was just literally no cohesion whatsoever. I'm not quite sure what to even say. Arsenal scored after the first within the first couple of minutes. Russo latching onto a deflected pass, we would have got through to her anyway, but the deflection put an extra bit of spin on it, which took out a couple of a defender, but she was quick to react and she just lathered it in. That was within just over a minute gone. We did not have a shot on target for the longest period. They just played it around us, and it was just so easy for them to just pick their passes. Our closing down was non-existent. I was saying, we just let them have as much of the ball as they wanted in in our final third, and even from passing that from the back, there was literally no pressure on it at all. Then they scored a second goal, and that was through Marnham, their midfielder. It was no, it was a good finish, but they just tiptoed into our area. Again, next to no challenging whatsoever. I forget who played the ball through to her. I want to say on this right hand side, it would have been Kim Little that played it through to her, and Frida Marlon just inside the area, unmarked, untouched, no one around her, picked a spot, scored, and that was 2-0. And no, it was poor. It was poor. And you know, it's just a manner of losing. You don't. I mean, as you know, I don't give a toss if it's Arsenal. I don't give a toss if it's Southampton. It's a manner of losing. If you play that badly, you're going to get fucked over, and we were. And they're showing the Arsenal fans celebrating in our stadium, man. That's a galling thing. And then it just gets. I mean, we rallied a bit in the second half where now we did have a shot on target, but that was from an Arsenal mistake. They tried to play out, but they got caught on the ball. When we actually pressed on the ball, in their defensive third, it was then laid off to England, who then had a shot which was saved, and that sort of sparked a couple of corners. But after that, that was literally all we had. Nothing else since. They then added the third, Arsenal, and it was a nice little breakaway. Lovely break, you have to say. Black Seniors came on as a second half substitute and buried it, but it was a lovely move. They're showing the table in hand on us. That's the Aston Villa, as do Crystal Palace. West Ham, they lost. So, and Leicester City have a game in hand on us as well. Arsenal, I don't know, talking a couple of players. We brought on the likes of Martha Thomas. We brought on the likes of Matilda Vinberg. We brought on the likes of Olga Achterman, and nothing worked. We were just toothless. We were literally toothless, and you just got to wonder what goes on. I mean, the difference at the women's game is that it is. I mean, I get accused of being called a happy clapper and whatnot, and I wear that as a badge because I like to support the team through thick and thin because I can see what's being developed. When we're at the game there, I know that I mean there'll be next to no kind of like I mean I'll probably there'll be a few of us who'll be showing a lot of anger towards what we're seeing, but there will be no displeasure being shown, and that's where the issue lies. There'll be a lots of because I saw it at the Chelsea game when we were awful going forward. I mean, awful retaining the ball and literally awful defending. All 5 goals were our fault. Just the same here, really. Although the first one really wasn't. We just the other 2 we just did not close them down at all one bit. and it'll still be songs of "We Love You, Tottenham, We Do." There'll just literally be no displeasure, and you can see that there'll be lots of round of applause and whatnot, and there'll be no displeasure. Whereas your voice your concerns at the men's game, and that's I mean, and that's something that I guess that shows that you're not happy with what you're seeing. At this point, what's going to happen? I mean, I know that the board will have itchy fingers and stuff, but I hope that they don't get rid of. Oh, that's the thing. I hope they don't get rid of Villahan, but they should have really soiled up a lot of the players that left last season. I mean, we haven't really replaced Grace Clinton, who could turn on the sixpence, change defense from attack. You know, actually, doing Manchester United up at theirs, and we haven't really replaced the. There's so many players we haven't really replaced. We've gotten a lot of good players. I mean, Razzo, great on the left wing, but didn't really get too much involved. Nas did her trickery, but and was playing mostly as a wing back for the most part, and so we didn't get to see much of her going forward. When she did get forward, it was really much of an end product. England looked really, really awful, but then again, I've been saying that for the last 18 months. I mean, what are you going to say? I mean, it was just poor again today. Poor, poor. I won't even say poor finishing because we didn't even have a chance to finish off. We had that one opportunity, and that was literally it. And what can you say after that? It was just poor from start to finish, and you just kind of think that the only person that's going to get kind of any kind of retribution on this is the manager. And you got to think that a lot of the players there are just kind of showing a lot of. It's just poor. And I just don't know what to say, but that's how it's finished. We are near the relegation zone, and we are near the top. I mean, I kind of expected after the last season that we kind of like be somewhere in the middle, just trying to push forward, but we're not even doing that. But anyway, I'm out, man. It's just been poor from start to finish.